I just had the thought like, wow, this humor is very millennial. I'm not saying that millennials have a higher propensity to be like racist.
Yeah.
It's like, if you watch the video, right, it's like interspersed throughout is that, that annoying laugh track.
Yeah.
That wheezing laugh track.
Yeah. False laughter,
and like
fake laugh track.
It's like the type of video you hear an uncle watching on his phone on the MRT on loudspeaker mode.
Yeah. Now, you probably know that data centers store a lot of info, basically the whole internet, and all your photos, videos, and memes. In fact, the biggest data center in the world in Inner Mongolia covers the area of size of 110 football fields. But why? Why do data centers need to be that big? And what actually goes on inside one? In a few weeks' time, you'd actually be able to walk through an actual live functioning data center, all within the comforts of Marina Bay Sands. Because Data Center World Asia, now in its 10th edition and the biggest event of its kind, is happening on October 9th and 10th. It's a 2-day event packed with the coolest tech, live demos and expert speakers from Google, AWS, Nvidia, and even OpenAI. There'll also be industry leaders, CTOs and engineers there. So it'll be a great place to meet interesting people. Best of all, registration is free and also grants you access to all 7 shows at MBS that is part of Tech Week Singapore. So get your free ticket by registering in the link in the description. Hope to see you there. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Yala,
Skibidi.
your thrice weekly podcast where we talk about the hottest news and the touchiest topics with a touch of what, guys?
Good old humor.
Yeah, all right. You can sense the enthusiasm in the room as today we have a very special episode of Yalla Butler, right? And in front of me, 2 Yalla But regulars. You might not actually recognize them, but you definitely have heard their voices here and there throughout the podcast. Because today we have Tristen, our audio engineer for Yalla But, and Dom, our projects manager for Yalla But as well. They're here on the Yalla But podcast as guest hosts today for the first time. Welcome to Yalla But, guys.
What am I doing here?
So, can you just talk a little bit about why you're here? Why are you filling in for somebody today? Why this special privilege that the listeners of Yalla But have?
You got to thank Harish.
Yes.
For trying to push up our fertility rate.
Yes. Harish is now on his way. I mean, he is a dad already. Congratulations to Harish.
Congrats, Harish.
We are exercising what Lawrence Wong has told us, the duty that we need to all do, right? Our second national service.
Has Harish sent a picture of the baby yet?
Not to me, no. But probably maybe to his family and friends and all. But I'm sure at some point we'll all see it. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Harish and Steph and the kid as well. I think everyone at Yalla But is very happy and excited. But at the same time, the show needs to go on. And yeah, I think in this month that he's away, we're probably going to be doing a bunch of these more experimental episodes where we get different guest hosts. But we thought, why not for the first guest host episode, get the people who are front and center of creating what Yalla But is, right? So I mean, maybe okay, people know Tristen is audio engineer. It's kind of clear what you do, lah. Could you just describe in a sentence, in a nutshell, what your role is?
Making you and Harish's voices as pleasant to listen to as possible.
Yeah, just a little bit of tweaking required, a little bit, right?
Depends.
And all right, okay, but today is yourself, like you have got to make yourself sound as good as possible, and be as Yalla But as possible, right?
I'm not looking forward to listening to my own voice.
Don't worry, it always starts like that. A lot of people tell us, like, especially in our first few episodes that we recorded, that we sounded so hesitant to talk, like we were afraid of hearing our own voices. But now, 560 episodes later, we're like, whatever lah, we love our own voices. So you'll get there soon. But yeah, and Dom also, in a nutshell, what do you do for Yalla But?
Manage the projects, the project timeline and everything else. Yeah.
So the interesting thing is, I think you guys are a different generation from Harish and myself, right?
Not too far for me.
Okay. Yeah. So Tristen, quite clearly, you are Gen Z, right?
Yes.
So you are very comfortably a Gen Z, right? Dom, you are somewhere on the
tail end
of the millennial line, but you could also say at near the start of Gen Z, right? Yeah. So I think all the Gen Z terms and all the skibidi and all that, you know them quite familiar. You're quite familiar with them, lah.
But skibidi is Gen Alpha.
Oh, really? Gen Alpha?
Yeah.
Now you're pushing into Gen Alpha already. But we thought it'd be interesting to sort of get perspectives of Gen Zs on this podcast, lah, versus myself. I mean, I'm already pushing the edge of millennial already. Gen X versus millennial. But I would like to think that I'm a bit younger than my years, right? In terms of my mind. So I always like to put myself in an uncomfortable position. And today the uncomfortable position is talking to Gen Zs about about topics. And then just seeing how different perspectives can be across different generations. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today, talking about two interesting topics, contrasting Gen Z versus millennial perspectives. But at the same time, before we jump into the topics, we do need to do a little shout out, as always. Maybe Dom, you want to give the usual shout out that we do for Yalabat.
Oh shit, I think I'm going to fumble this.
Yeah, go for it.
Remember to
like, share,
subscribe to our YouTube channel and Spotify.
Yes.
And you can follow us on Instagram. Don't think we have Facebook. Telegram. Telegram is something I started.
Yeah, correct.
The Telegram channel. So we normally you get the latest updates on episodes. And sometimes we do polls also, so it's a bit interactive.
Yeah. So I mean,
and give us 5 stars on Spotify because that helps.
Yeah, that helps a lot. And if you want to work with us, check out ministryoffunny.com. That's where we put our projects in our portfolio. The projects that Dom, is painstakingly managing, and that Tristen also has a big part in creating. So, shall we jump right into it, guys? And the first topic that we're going to talk about today is something that I think it feels like it's on the periphery of the news cycle, right? And I think the first place where I caught wind of it was on Wake Up Singapore, alternative news site. And how do you guys hear of it yourselves? Did you see it, or was it something that I, as the oldest person in the room, alerted you to it?
Didn't come across.
You didn't come across it? Yeah. So not for you also, Tristen?
I've never heard about this video before today.
So it's only like the outraged millennials that actually saw the video and alerted you to it.
I actually wonder what is like the main demographic of people who follow Wake Up Singapore.
Interesting question. We met the boss of Wake Up Singapore recently. He's a young fella. He's your age. He's younger than you, Dom.
Yeah.
So I would say, if anything, it's more Gen Z than millennial. So you just got pwned, man. But anyway, the article that we wanted to talk about, I saw in Wake Up Singapore, but there's an Asia One article. It's about a video that's been making its rounds of a car dealership salesman doing blackface in a video that was meant to sell a second-hand car. And it's actually a car advertisement by the local car dealership, JDM Automobile Carol Center. So what, if you actually see the video, which has been taken down, but it's still making its rounds on YouTube and Wake Up Singapore, it features what appears to be a Chinese man with painted blackface promoting the features of a Toyota Noah hybrid to a female customer who's off screen, and he references a 2017 viral video where, by repeating his name, and the customer asks for his name, so the salesman says a very exaggerated phrase that actually is the name of a person.
I'm pretty sure everybody has seen that meme, right, of that African guy with a very long name.
Yes, that's the meme that they were referencing. But at the same time, I actually have not seen it before.
Is
This is
it?
my first time seeing it. Yeah.
Wow.
So maybe it really is a Gen Z thing, right? Like it existed. They said 2017 was that lah. But essentially, it was I think someone in Nigeria, talking about some environmental issues. But then they asked him what his name was, and he gave this really long, multi-syllable name that I can't even repeat myself, lah, right? And I think it went viral because of that. People were amazed of how long the name was, lah, right? So this car salesman took that video. He imitated that person repeating his name, but he also did it in blackface. And as he was talking through the features of the Toyota Noah hybrid, there were images of African people, Native American people, also that came on screen. Like for example, when he was talking about how big the car boot was, he talked about how you can fit your father, your mother, your family, and everything. And then there were also images of a Native American family coming on screen. So, video actually has been out for a while, since July, but only recently, like on Wake Up Singapore, then it's been highlighted. And generally, if you go to their webpage or their Facebook and you look at their style of videos, their videos are all generally of a salesman talking to a camera, talking through the features of the car, and then after that, injecting some humor into the whole thing, lah. So I guess this was also one of those videos, and it just happened that they did something that is abhorred by a lot of people, right? So when you guys first heard about, or at least saw this piece of news, what's the first thing that went through your minds?
Not again.
Not again?
Yeah, because previously I think the last big blackface, brownface thing was the Dennis Chu advertisement.
Okay.
I mean, I think after that, it was clearly, it's clear that for people who are not intending to be racist, that doing brownface or blackface is racist, lah.
Yeah.
But at first I thought it was like, really in this day and age, they still thought this was a good idea. But then I found out the video was from 2017.
Which video?
The car salesman video.
No. The car salesman video is from July this year.
It's from this year.
It's from this year. The 2017 reference was from that meme video that he was referencing about the name. Yeah.
Oh my God, that makes it even worse. Because that means the humor is like about 5 years too late.
Correct. But is it even humorous?
7 years too late.
Even 5 years ago, was this funny? That's the question, right? But I mean, I do want to dig a bit into what you're saying about the humor being too late, right? Do you see this as like you cannot believe that anyone is doing this because it's offensive or because it's not funny?
A bit of both, like I can't believe there's still anybody here that thinks this would be a good idea and that anybody will find this funny. Because when we were watching the video together outside before this, I just had the thought like, wow, this humor is very millennial. Like, I'm not saying that millennials have a higher propensity to be like racist.
Yeah.
It's like, if you watch the video, right, it's like interspersed throughout is that, that annoying laugh track.
Yeah.
That wheezing laugh track.
Yeah. False laughter.
And like
fake
the
laugh track.
It's like the type of video you hear an uncle watching on his phone on the MRT on loudspeaker mode.
Yeah.
Which was what made me thought the video was from 2017.
Oh, I see.
But to find out it was this year.
So, correct me in some ways, but you are almost critiquing the editing and the stylistic choices in the video, right? Which make it like unfunny and feel very dated, right?
Yes.
So the very interesting, the term you used earlier, the humor is very millennial. Because you're not the first Gen Z person I've heard saying that, where the word millennial has become an insult already, right? Where
no, I'm not
okay,
boomer.
millennial.
Like okay boomer.
Yeah. That's the way of saying okay boomer to a millennial. Oh, your humor is so millennial. Yeah.
I didn't mean it as an insult exactly, but if you want to take it that way. Sure.
No, because as you get older, generally the propensity to get sensitive about your age is natural, right? So when you call out someone's age, like by saying, "Hey, your humor is very, old," right? Is that's what it feels like. Do you feel slighted by what Tristen was saying when he said the humor is so millennial?
No lah, I took it like maybe our like very 低笑点, so like low bar for humor.
Actually, that's interesting because I wanted you to address what Tristen was saying, right? He's saying about the laugh tracks, about the those kind of sounds that pop up in the video. Isn't that a very Chinese thing?
Yeah.
Taiwanese variety shows, especially. You watch Korean Netflix reality shows now. They repeat. They always have like parts where they repeat the laugh or the big scare and things like that. It's a very East Asian style of content, right?
Yeah. I think if you look at the Facebook page where they posted all their videos, it's the same style. In the article, it mentioned that they have this filter where the guy will look a bit funny.
Oh yeah. His face becomes his jaws become elongated, and his lips and mouth become very big, right?
Yeah, and the eyes become bigger.
Oh, the eyes become bigger.
I think they were saying that one that might be trying to make fun of, I don't know, the black person or something. But actually, if you look at their other videos, right, they still use the same filter. It's the same style. And I think it's because also if you look through the videos, right, most of their salespersons are like Malaysian. And the way they speak, you can tell is Malaysian Chinese. So I think they consume a lot more Chinese, more Chinese content from
right?
Xiaohongshu, this kind.
Yeah. So in some way, you're saying that maybe there's that blind spot for them because they're not as woke as our Gen Z Tristen over here, right?
No, I mean, they should also know that it's not. Okay lah, maybe you can give them benefit of the doubt lah. But I mean, we are three Chinese dudes talking about racism, but like,
because you're right lah. That they as expected, they came forward. I mean, the JDM automobile, the Miss Chia, the manager of the dealership, said there was no intention to be racist and that the company was merely attempting to create funny content to attract viewers. So she said that, the whole language that the person was saying is a language that nobody can understand. She even said that she saw the video prior to it being posted but did not think it was offensive.
What?
Yeah.
But the thing is, they have one Malay staff.
Yes. Oh, they do. Yeah. I saw the video. Yeah.
So I don't know why that guy, maybe he wasn't there during their filming and he didn't like flag it out or something.
Yeah, possibly because I mean this is not exactly like big Hollywood production, right? Yeah. It's just one phone and one guy, one dude, and one camera person filming the whole thing, So not everyone is managing the content that strictly. But interesting that you talk about possibly giving them the benefit of a doubt, right? Like I get your point about the filter. The filter where the eyes are big and the lips become big or the jaws become very big. I get that. Maybe they use that across all their videos as a common filter, right? But the blackface element of like coloring his face a certain color or that, I feel like there's no way you can give any benefit of doubt about that, right?
Yeah, but I think not to justify what he's doing, but maybe his thought process is I want to make I want to use that meme to make a video.
Yeah.
But if nobody will get the reference if I don't use that colored face. Maybe that was his thinking.
Correct.
He give him benefit of the doubt, but like it's not like the government one where there's layers. This one is really just one guy and the marketing manager.
Okay. I mean, is that do you accept the perspective that it was not meant to be racist at all, Tristen?
Yeah, I can see maybe see the point that maybe they weren't intentionally being racist, but that means I think they're just dumb as fuck, or don't read the news at all.
Correct. Yeah. So I would also say that it's stupid lah. This ad is stupid in the sense that okay, let's just put a hypothetical out there. If he did the exact same ad, but without coloring his face black in color, right? Do you think would you have found it acceptable?
It wouldn't be funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it wouldn't be funny to their target audience because nobody will get it.
Tristen, would you be okay with it if he didn't like do blackface, but he still did the exact same actions, everything?
I think it wouldn't be as offensive, but I think I still would have found it racist. It's like, whenever like a Chinese person like jokes about the Indian migrant workers and they put on that Indian accent, that's still considered offensive.
Yeah. So I was thinking about that in terms of he's referencing a meme video, and honestly, you go back and watch that video from 2017, that meme video. You look at some of the comments that were in there. They were not necessarily making fun of the person's race, right? But they were making fun of how long his name really was, right? And so some of the jokes that came in were like, oh, this guy, he will definitely survive Death Note and stuff like that, right? For those, if you know, right? But that's where I thought, okay, if maybe he really loves that meme video and finds it really funny, and maybe he's trying to express the humor in a certain way, but the big misstep is like painting his face black, right? I think that's we know that, you can't get away with that in this day and age, right? So even if you try to be generous, it's still a bit of a stretch, like what Tristen was saying, where how do you get around making fun of the way people talk as well, right? That itself feels offensive and racist really. But it's just it's where I think we're at this stage where people who are managing these accounts need to know better, right? But so the other thing that was pretty interesting was that the manager of the car sale company also explained that the company only reviews the videos for the translations for their multilingual marketing efforts, ensuring accessibility for Singapore's diverse population. So they are very conscious of different race and ethnicities in the Singapore market as well. But they did not take that into account when doing this video, right? So now the video has been taken down, and people are out for justice, so to speak.
I mean, that just sounds like, I'm not racist, I have a minority friend.
Yeah. I translate this video to all different languages so that everyone can be in on the joke as well, But yeah, if you watch the video, unfortunately, the salesman has his phone number plastered at the end of the video.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably getting a lot of angry messages at the same time. That's why they had to take down the video, in spite of them thinking that it was not racist or funny. But how do you think your friends would react to this piece of news? Given that it did not even come across your radars initially. If your friends see this, do you think they'll be outraged or make a fuss about it?
I think as for my Chinese friends, they'll just react to it with mild disdain. Because ultimately, it's really a nothing burger. Yeah. People are gonna get pissed off at this video, but I think ultimately nothing's gonna happen.
Nothing burger.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not gonna spark some great debate.
Yeah.
About how we should treat the minorities in Singapore. It's just like the Dennis Chew one, people got outraged for a while, but then nothing really came of it.
But I would, to Dom's point earlier, I would say the Dennis Chew one was more egregious because it was, I think it was a government agency.
By Nets, I think.
Oh, yeah. Like a very big company behind the campaign, right? Who there are many layers as you mentioned, many layers of approval that happen for something like that to go out. But this one, you can tell that there are no layers. It's basically from the guy's brain to online already. In basically one afternoon. But how about you, Dom? Like, you think your friends and family will be outraged by this?
Not outraged. Probably sorry, I chose some of you under the bus, but some might find it funny.
Really?
The Chinese one.
You find it funny,
they
really?
find it, it's like the CAD, then next, scroll up more.
Mao exhale through the nose.
Yeah,
also, you said some of your friends would genuinely find it like funny.
Not like funny, but like amused.
I think my younger ones, like the ones around the same age as me, would like find it distasteful, but like the Gen X, like relatives of mine, some I can see a couple of them being mildly amused.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
the
basically
older
boomers, the boomers all like, what's the big deal about this?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Hey, see, this one funny.
Yeah. But I did want to ask you all, since you're here and you all have sat in on the conversations that I've had with Harish about this. Wake Up Singapore referenced the last, I think Wake Up Singapore was that referenced the last Blackface incident being the recent incident of the RI student wearing a LeBron James mask in the school. Where does this rank compared to that LeBron James mask incident? More racist, less racist, both racist, same?
I think they're about equal.
Equal, okay.
Yeah.
I think this is more racist.
You think it's more racist? Why? Okay, first Tristen first. Why do you think it's like the same?
Because it's like they're both like stereotyping the minority race.
Okay. But it's LeBron James, man. LeBron James is a billionaire, philanthropist, family man, multiple time NBA champion. What is it being is there a stereotype to wearing a LeBron James mask?
I don't think the mask being of LeBron James was a factor for the kid choosing it.
Okay.
I think it was something else which we all can guess. But yeah.
It's okay. I think I have given a much more generous interpretation of the LeBron James mask before, right? But that's because I'm more clued into like LeBron James memes than you are, right? But Dom, you said that this particular act by this car salesman is more racist. Why?
This guy's an adult. I mean, he should know better.
Actually, that's true. That's a good point.
That one's a kid.
That's true.
He's a kid. I mean, if he's a LeBron James, I think that mask thing also, they have a Taylor Swift mask also that's going around.
A Taylor Swift mask?
Yeah,
okay.
I think I've seen it on TikTok. People wear the Taylor Swift mask. It's the exact same mask, just that the printing of the face is different.
I see.
You can argue with that the kid, just nice he has the LeBron James mask. Maybe he wasn't intending anything with the Food Panda outfit as well. But I mean, we can guess that it's not true but he's still a kid I mean, nowadays also kids are not like us. Previously, you can do stupid shit and then
now they do skibidi things.
It's not on the internet.
Yeah.
It's immediately on the internet.
Yeah,
but
it's a lot more easy to get cancelled in this day and age.
True.
Yeah, but this guy's an adult. He should know.
That's a very good point. A good point that is very clearly that this guy's an adult. His job involves talking to people, connecting with them, and not making them feel insulted or offending them.
Yeah.
So maybe the most important thing is, would you, let's say if you're in the market to buy a second-hand car, would this affect your purchasing decision not to buy from this salesman or this place?
I think so.
Yes. How about you, Dom?
I mean, if they offer me a great price, I wouldn't care.
But if it's this guy himself,
if it's this guy,
yeah,
I don't know him personally. If I go to the store and then I talk to him, then if he's like okay, then okay But like maybe if I'll ask for a different salesperson. Ultimately, he earns a commission.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just ask for a different guy.
I see.
Because I think people who follow this page also, they should already know that this had happened before Wake Up Singapore called them out.
Correct.
But then it's been months some more. Then I mean, you go through the Facebook page. I don't know why they like to post everybody that has bought a car from them. There are minorities that have recently bought cars from them. I mean, so it doesn't bother them as well. I would think, or they wouldn't, or they didn't know about it.
Correct. I mean,
ultimately, it's just at most I don't look for this guy.
Okay.
I look for someone else.
I see.
If the price is right, then
yeah.
But I mean, and then that speaks to myself, like capitalism. The price is right, anything can happen.
Capitalism over social justice, lah.
Oh, yeah.
The hierarchy is there, lah, right? So for Tristen, for you is a flat no, lah. You would not buy from this automobile dealer.
I wouldn't say it would be outright no, but maybe more in line with what Dom said.
Okay.
Because if I like walked in a dealership and I saw this guy who's gonna sell me a car, like doing this shit, it's like a big. It's a big ick. You know the term ick?
Yes, ick. Yeah, actually, you can explain what the word ick means.
It basically just means turn off, lah.
Okay. The Gen Z is a Gen Z term, lah, right? When you say something's an ick, it's like a big turn off.
I think it's also like a Gen Alpha thing.
Gen Alpha. So Gen Alpha are the younger than Gen Zs.
It wasn't a thing until like last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I literally heard of it 2 days ago.
2 years ago already.
Is it?
Yeah, my ex used it on me.
Oh, is it?
What?
That your ick? Oh, wow. That sounds like an interesting conversation that we can take offline. But yeah, I think ultimately it's also not great business, lah. You see across generations, you got Gen Zs and millennials here saying that, it might affect their purchasing decisions with this company, lah. So I think, the people who are managing these pages should do better, lah, right? But yeah, that was the first topic that we're talking about. The second one is a little bit more interesting, lah, and it's actually something that Dom, I think you were the one who suggested, lah, right?
Yeah.
And the story is actually about the town council in Yishun, who is now going for a last resort, or saying they're going for the last resort against one of the Yishun residents who continually feeds pigeons and wild birds in the estate, right? And why this is news is because this person has been doing it for a while now, ever since November last year, and feeding pigeons and crows in the Yishun residential area. And a lot of people have complained. They've complained to the town council multiple times. The Yishun town council said it's aware and has tried to engage with the resident. The resident continues to do the illegal feeding. And now, finally, they have sought the help of the National Parks Board, which is NParks, to carry out enforcement measures, right? And they also might put in pigeon population management measures, i.e. they'll start culling pigeons, probably. But yeah, so this was the news that came out, and I think, Dom, you're the one who thought this topic would be interesting. But why did you think this topic was something worth discussing?
I think, like, all this, I mean, personally, I find it a nuisance. All these people feeding the pigeons, then all the pigeons congregating at one spot. Because I do own my own business, retail business, so and it's an outdoor kind of business. So there are those elderly people that feed the pigeons. So and pigeons like overpopulate, and then some of the pigeons actually really just walk into my shop and and eat off the floor, that kind of thing. And it's,
you mean they just casually just throw in? They're not scared of people.
Not scared of people. People are eating eating right in front in the store. They just walk in and then just back on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it's a bit disgusting. Then I mean the area, a lot of people, pigeons also really not scared of anybody. They just fly over your head, all that. And I think pigeons are, I don't know where I heard this, but I heard that like pigeons are the rats of the sky, but they spread disease. And are generally quite disgusting.
Yeah, there was even a recent photo that went viral, right, of a pigeon that there's at the ABC Brickworks Food Center. There is the tray return area has anti-bird doors, like automated doors that open and close. And a pigeon actually managed to get in and it was happily feasting while the doors were just opening and closing in there. So it went viral because people were like, wow, these anti-bird doors obviously are not working. But to your point about what you're saying about the birds is that they don't give a fuck, right? They just walk in, they just do whatever the hell they want. They just get out and free ride.
Because of all these people feeding them, then they think that it's normal. I mean, for animals, it's like that. They just that's why they tell you don't feed wild animals because they'll just keep coming back. They think it's normal.
Correct. And to clarify, it is an offense. It is an offense to feed wild animals because under the Wildlife Act, offenders can be fined up to $5,000 for the first offense of feeding any wild animal, including birds, and up to $10,000 for subsequent offenses, right? So in last year, 2023, they issued letters of advisory, letters of warning, and composition fines to over 200 offenders. So it's a real thing, it is illegal activity in Singapore, right? Okay, then Tristen, but you also were interested to talk about this topic in particular, right? Like, why do you feel like this is something very interesting to talk about? Because I think Dom's perspective interesting, as a retail business owner, like F&B, food, he has to handle food and everything. So there's an issue of hygiene. But for you, why, you're the audio engineer and all, how does what does a pigeon do to you to offend you so much?
Okay, first, personally, I don't really mind pigeons.
Okay.
But that's just me. I have a few friends who are deathly afraid of pigeons.
Deathly?
Yeah, something I've observed, right? A few of my Korean friends and from people I've observed when I was vacationing in Korea, right?
Yeah.
They freaking hate pigeons.
Oh, really?
They treat them like the plague, right? If they see one single pigeon on the path they're walking on, right, they'll try to find a detour around it.
Really?
So that makes me just feel for the people in that neighborhood who dislike the pigeons.
But is it a Korean thing or what's the?
I'm not sure.
The origins of it. But you literally you have friends who are.
Yeah, I think it's they view the pigeons as unclean, because they do spread diseases.
Yeah. So like rats of the sky, what Dom was saying.
Oh, so seeing the photos in the article of the woman feeding the pigeons, right? There's really a fuckload of them.
Yeah.
So I can imagine if you're somebody who dislikes them and living in that area, plus their poop everywhere.
Yeah.
You can really feel like a living nightmare.
Correct. I do want to preface that although she is committing offense and everything, people also were pointing out that she also spends her time actively scavenging through rubbish in the estate sometimes. And that attracts pests and creates breeding grounds for them. And she does it very early, starting early in the morning, and does it through the entire day, which likely points to her, she probably is not working or is not holding down a job. And I think some people online have pointed out probably has mental issues, right?
Yeah.
So in some ways, maybe she does need help. I think you go on Reddit, the top comment on Reddit about this article is make her volunteer at Bird Paradise law. Which I thought it is a win-win situation. It'd be brilliant, right? That there's a lot of birds to feed at Bird Paradise, but again, maybe she's not mentally the most well at this moment. But do you think, there's really not much that the town council can do. From what I understand, you can complain to the town council, but the town council's hands are tied. The enforcement action has to come from NParks, and that involves NParks catching her in the act of doing it, or people catching videos of her and sending it to NParks. And it involves bringing mobile CCTV down to the location, and even there were anecdotes on Reddit that they bring CCTV down, then the activity stops. But once they remove the CCTV, it resumes again, right? So it is quite hard to enforce, right? But do you think there's anything else that can or should be done to prevent people from doing this feeding?
I think in terms of if let's say they bring the CCTV down and then people stop doing what they're doing, then these people are those kind that they know it's wrong. They know it's wrong. It's not a mental issue. Mental issue is knowing that it's wrong but you can't help it.
Yeah.
Which might be the case for this lady because they already, I think, probably tried to talk to her and dissuade her.
Yeah.
I don't know why he is calling NParks a last resort, honestly.
Because just enforcing. Enforcement is by NParks.
By NParks,
they have the legal right to enforce.
But I think the town council can maybe do more to probably identify her as somebody that needs some kind of help. Because normal people know that it's wrong.
Yeah.
And normal people don't. Okay, normal is, but like, she also rummages through rubbish.
Yeah.
So, normal people don't do that. So, there is clearly she needs help.
Yeah.
Then town council should find some way to provide help for her. Because I think a lot of people have issues with their town councils.
Yeah.
Like in terms of, I think the most common one is also like noise issues. Then now town council can't do anything. You talk to your neighbor, all this.
Yeah.
Then, but some of them really they can do more to identify and probably like get the proper agencies to come help.
Yeah.
Not just, I don't mean just call IMH on her, but like, social, I don't know who is the one that is in charge, but some social service to come and help her.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because some people on Reddit were pointing out that maybe she's doing this because she thinks she is doing good for the animals, right? The wild animals and all. But they also point out the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Because if you do what she's doing, which is feeding them, trying to, whatever it is, sustain them, you end up getting attention from the authorities, and that's where they come and they cull the pigeons and they kill them. So if you want to actually keep your feathered friends alive, the last thing you should do is to draw attention to them, which is what she's doing now, right? And then in some way, maybe that might actually get her to stop doing it. But at the same time, I don't know the extent to which that she's obsessed with this, right? Tristen, do you encounter this kind of situation where there are people feeding wild animals where you live,
Not really.
Cats? No? Nothing?
My neighborhood doesn't really have cats. There's quite a lot of chickens running around, but I've never seen anybody feeding them.
Yeah. Because I remember quite distinctly last time I used to, do a lot of videos of me and my dogs, like going around Singapore and all that. A couple of times we encountered wild dogs along the way, and then I would take videos of them or my dog, like not interacting, but like sort of like running away or cycling away, together with my dog away from these wild dogs. And immediately, when I posted that, immediately people were DMing us and asking us to take down the video. And then they said because to you it's interesting because there's wild dogs and you didn't do anything to them, yes, but you are giving the authorities an excuse to go there and cull the wild dogs, So if you really care about the wild dogs' existence and all, don't bring any attention to them. So that's why I was like, okay.
Does NParks cull stray dogs?
Well, if there's a video evidence of the wild dogs chasing after people on bicycles, which was what's happening to me, then that is a reason to, actually catch the dogs. I don't know whether to cull them, but they definitely will catch them. So I know people who are very involved in the dog community who try to do these things where they try to get people away from these areas where the wild dogs are, so that they don't so that incidents don't happen, and so that it doesn't cause some drastic action has to have been taken. I'm sure you've seen it before, like the wild otters in Singapore as well. A lot of times when if you're walking past the otters with dogs, the otters get quite aggressive, So I've seen videos of dog owners who are like, oh, so cute, come let my dog go and smell the otters and all that, not knowing that that's going to cause something that's going to cause complaints and outrage, and then maybe the otters have to be caught or something like that.
Yeah.
So we live in a place where interaction with wildlife has to be very careful and monitored, and there are a lot of unintended consequences for people's actions. But overall, it's a tough situation for the Yishun residents here. Is there anything that you've done to address this pigeon problem at your business?
No, I can't really do anything.
You can't have sit down and have engagement and conversation with the pigeon.
get them to gather around and
or offer them some free food outside the place. No,
but I just try to shoo them away or keep the area as clean as possible, because people eat and small bits will drop. So definitely you can't always keep it clean. I just try to shoo it away.
Yeah. True.
But I think the problem with this is the enforcement.
So you're thinking it should be more enforcement from?
It's more active enforcement rather than with everything in Singapore. It's more on the active enforcement rather than reactive. A lot of everything, because even in National Day rally, I think Lawrence Wong mentioned they don't enforce unless necessary. But unless it's necessary means if got people complain.
Yeah. So there are people complaining now, right?
Yeah, but they should be more proactive in terms of this kind of thing. I mean, this is something small. It will start small at first until it becomes bigger in terms of like maybe spreading disease.
Yeah.
Then I mean everything as well, road enforcement and all this kind of thing. They've been reactive rather than proactive.
I think this particular case, because it involves animals also, that's why they're trying to be more sensitive about people's feelings about it.
Yeah.
But if it's causing a lot of hygiene problems, then I think they have to step in. But it's a tough situation for residents of Yishun and the bird population there. But speaking of which, we always have a segment at the end of our podcast called One Shiok Thing, which I'm sure you guys have been dying and itching to share your One Shiok Things for the longest times already. Like every time you hear Harish and me talking about all the millennial One Shiok Things. So do you have your One Shiok Things ready in front of you to talk about?
I have mine.
Okay. Please go.
So it's an old show, not old, I mean quite recent, but like 2 years ago. The Apple TV mini-series called We Crashed.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's about the founder of WeWork and how WeWork became what it is until its bankruptcy. Yeah, and so it's quite interesting to. I mean, it's a bit dramatized, and some things are a bit fictionalized. Like after he was kicked out as CEO, the guy that took over is actually in real life actually two guys, but in the series it was one of the partners for the PE firm, the venture cap firm that was that invested in them. Yeah. But I mean, it's quite interesting because one thing is I didn't realize that was Jared Leto until I went to read that. As Adam Newman. Yeah. Then Anne Hathaway was great as usual.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, she's great because she made her character infuriating to watch.
I see.
At the start, you think like, okay, her character is like someone that's like, very aware and all that. But then further down the line, it's more like she's delusional.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's a good series,
it's a good series.
But it didn't get a lot of people watching it, right?
I only came across it because those TikTok videos, and then it came on my For You page where it was a clip Then I was like,
see.
oh yeah, I should watch this. It's quite
Okay.
interesting. Then after that, didn't get to it because I didn't have an Apple TV Plus subscription until my sister signed up for it. So shout out to my sister for
Okay.
paying for the subscription.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You give me another thing to put on my watch list for Apple TV.
Yeah, it's eight episodes. One episode is about an hour long.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Tristen, what is your one Shiok thing?
So mine is an anime which started airing this July called The Elusive Samurai. It's a
Elusive or
elusive, the
Elusive.
elusive samurai.
de-elusive. I thought you meant like delusional or
No.
elusive. Okay.
So it was adapted from a manga that was written and drawn by the same person who did Assassination Classroom.
Okay.
If you've ever heard of that one.
Okay.
It's he's like dramatized historical manga. Like it's based on an actual historical event that happened in Japan about Tokiyuki Hojo, who was the son of one of Japan's shoguns.
Okay.
Which was overthrown in a coup. And this anime has been a pretty breath of fresh air because the art style and the color palette of it is very reminiscent to the early to mid 2000s style of anime that you don't see nowadays. And the animation is really great. The characters are very interesting.
Elusive Samurai.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. But so it's not something new right?
Yeah, it aired like a couple months ago.
Okay, so still quite new. Oh, that's cool.
So the manga is completed already?
The
manga, I'm not sure whether it's completed or not.
I've
only watched the anime so far.
But is it as good as Shogun?
Shogun, you mean the live action series?
Yeah, the live action series Shogun.
I know you don't really have the best opinion of that show.
I'm still watching it though. I'm still like trying to finish it because I do find there are good bits about it. I like, yeah. But it's been nominated for a lot of Emmy Awards. That's why I'm asking you, is it as good as Shogun?
I mean, I don't think you can really compare since there are such different mediums. But yeah, I think I'd say I'm enjoying this more than Shogun.
Okay. That's all I needed to hear. Because, Shogun, I think it was hyped up way too much for me at the start already. So
expectations too high.
I think you both are right. Both of you were saying that it was damn good and everything. Yeah, so it was a tough one for me. Yeah. But cool. Elusive Samurai. Check out. It's on what platform is it on? Or the 7 Seas, is it? It's on the 7 Seas?
The 7 Seas, and I think it's streaming on Crunchyroll.
Oh, Crunchyroll. Okay. Yeah. Got it. Okay. My one Shiok thing is a recent video by this content creator called Becca Versace. I don't know Versace or Farsace. But she used to be a journalist for The Verge, the tech magazine The Verge. And she used to do very like quite nice videos about like tech reviews of gadgets and cameras and all these things. But she recently left The Verge, and as with every Gen Z person who leaves the job these days, there's a why I left my job video. So she did a video why I left The Verge. And I thought it was quite interesting because, I mean, I like her and her presentation style as a journalist and everything. But at the same time, she talks a little bit about how The Verge, even though it's maybe one of the more progressive tech magazines out there, right, that make you think about technology and its place in humanity, or that she talked about how it was very stifling working in The Verge in some ways because she couldn't, they didn't allow her to create her own content for The Verge. So now she's got her own YouTube channel and it's growing quite well, and she's creating content for herself. So I'm pretty glad that that's the case, that she didn't stop doing it just because someone in the corporate suite or what told her that she can't do it. So, shout out to Becca and hoping that, she continues creating awesome content.
What was the content Mostly
It's like reviews of like, she lives in San Francisco, or I think New York or San Francisco, I can't remember. But she does reviews of like cameras, tech gadgets, and things like that. Yeah.
so like Marcus Brownlee. Yeah.
Not so hardcore, but more like lifestyle kind of tech reviews. Like Marcus Brownlee is more like hardcore, like, you know, tech,
Technical,
right? You know, laptops and computers and everything. So yeah, that's my one Shiok thing. But cool. Congrats guys on your your Yalabat debut. I think over the next few weeks there will be more occasions like this for you all to guest host. But yeah, let's keep the enthusiasm going and keep looking for topics that will be interesting for our audience. Yeah, cool. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye bye.